What is going on, guys? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on another Raid Shadow Legends video. All right, so as requested again, we are back at it with the secret rooms, and this time we're going to be working on the number 8, which is defense champions only. Again, this is for rotation 2 of Doom Tower for the Eternal Dragon. This one's going to be pretty easy, honestly. Defense-based champions are easier to build. You should, have a few of them in stockpile, I guess I could say. And you don't need to go too full out crazy. You just need to be sustainable enough, right? Remember, we don't need to 3-star the room. We just need to clear it. So, again, we're going to use champions that are not excessively, crazily to be obtained. And, we'll do our best to try to keep the builds as free to play as possible. So let's get into the run. All right, so here's the team, right? We're going to be working with Sepulchral Sentinel. We're going to be working with Tyrell. We're going to be working with Sandlash Survivor, Grush the Mangler, and our Verges. Now, could you bring in somebody else? Of course, you could bring in whatever you want, right? If you need a reviver, bring in your Godseeker Neri. You could bring in, I want to say your Melga actually isn't a champion that you could bring in. Melga's actually HP. You could bring in Kaden, right? There's plenty of different other champions you could bring in. You could bring in your White Dryad Nia. It's really up to what you have on the account. But for us right now, what we are going to use is these champions, right? They're basically, most of them are spirit-based, right? We have 1 magic. We have a decreased defense. We have somebody that's going to keep us alive. We have somebody that's going to heal us. And then we have somebody that's going to make sure we can't get debuffed, right? So let's get into the run. Now, I don't have an AI setup for this. You could if you really wanted to. It's really up to you. But they're pretty good at prioritizing what they need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera, and then I will be back at the end of this. All right, so 173 turns, 6 minutes, 18 seconds later, we got this room done. Nice and easy. Like I said, no problems. But, these are all champions that you can invest in and use them all the way from the early game into the end game. So let me show you guys some of the builds. All right, so let's talk about Sandlash first, right? Sandlash is going to be one of those champions that has a lot of different builds. Most people actually early game will use it for Clan Boss. I used her for a lot of my arena comps, for 3v3 especially. Now, we do have her built with a Lifesteal and Immortal set. Does she need it? Absolutely not. Just build a sustainability and you should be fine, right? If you can fit an Immortal set in there to get some heals back up every time, that's fine. If not, again, don't concern yourself with it. You'll be fine. There's enough support with the rest of the team that she will live, right? Let's talk about stats-wise. What are we looking for? Well, she is defense-based, so we got to try to get as close to that 4,200 defense as possible. So we currently have her built with 3.8k defense, 42k HP, 192 speed, a little low for my liking. And because we have her in Lifesteal, we did put some crit rate on her, right? We want to try to heal back up. As for resistance, we have it at 217. And as for accuracy, we have it at 318. Now, skills-wise, do we have her booked? Yes. Do we need her booked? She does help, but if you're just going to use it for like secret rooms and faction wars, I wouldn't be too concerned about it, right? Commanding presence is what we did take for her. As for masteries, we did go down the offense and support, right? Now, we did take, offense and defense, not support. We did go ahead and take War Master. We did take Methodical along with Bring It Down. We did also take Cycle of Violence, right? For the defense, we did take Deterrence along with Retribution. We did also take Delay of Death, and we took Resurgent. All right, let's talk about Tyrell. Tyrell is a legacy champion. He's been around the game for so long. We currently have him built with a Double Perception and Immortal set. Refresh accessories are not needed. Stats-wise, what are we looking at? Well, 4.1k defense, right? Defensive base, we try to get as close to that 4.2 as possible. 56k HP, 232 speed. As for resistance and accuracy, we have him built with 294 resistance. Do you need that? Absolutely not. Try to focus more on the accuracy. This just happened because that's what the build had, right? So we have him at 285 accuracy. As for books, we do have him fully booked. Do you need him fully booked? Books will help, right? We get a better chance of placing that decreased attack. We get a better chance of placing that decreased defense. And then we get a reduction in cooldown for the A3. So it does help. Cruelty is the blessing that we did take for him, right? The A2 is AoE. As for masteries, what did we do? We went down the support and offense tree. We did take War Master. We did take Methodical. We also did take Bring It Down. We did take Life Drinker. Now, because we do use him in our faction war team, we did take Ruthless Ambush, right? And we also did take Shield Breaker along with Keen Strike. Are they needed? No. You could definitely go ahead and take Heart of Glory and Single Out instead. It's really up to you. As for the support tree, we did take Sniper. We did take Master Hexer. We also did take Evil Eye along with Lord of Steel. And we did take Swarm Smiter. All right, let's talk about our lookalike from Ethos, Vergis. Vergis is somebody that we have built for Scarab King to solo him all the way up to hard mode. Now, he is one of those old school champions that has been power crept, but is still pretty solid. So the build that we currently have him in is an Immortal and Destroy. Is it needed? Absolutely not. Again, he's built for Scarab King. Now, stats-wise, what are we talking about? Well, 66k HP, 3.6k defense, 254 speed. We don't care about crit rate or crit damage. 438 resistance, right? And the resistance is basically there to make sure that we don't get our buffs stolen from the Scarab King. As for the booking situation, do you need him booked? Absolutely not, right? His passive does help with books to get it to a 1-turn cooldown, but you don't need it. The A2, you get a 1 cooldown reduction, right? On a 3-turn, you don't need it. A1, you sure as hell don't need it. Chainbreaker is what we did take for a blessing. As for masteries, we went down War Master. We did go ahead and take Methodical. We did take Bring It Down, and we did take Wrath of the Slaying. As for the support, we did take Lasting Gifts along with Spirit Haste and Lord of Steel. We did also take Rapid Response because of the amount of buffs that he loses. All right, let's talk about another legacy champion here, Grush the Mangler. Grush is a great support, especially when you build him tanky for clan boss. He will keep your team alive, right? Brings a leech, brings the heal, pretty solid. We currently have him built with an Immortal, 2 Immortals, and a Defiant set, right? Counterattack accessories is probably what's going to be best for him to put down that leech. As for stats, what are we looking for? Well, we got him built at 51k HP, 3.2k defense, 202 speed, right? Kind of low for my liking. I want to really get it closer to like 210, 215 minimum, at least, to try to make sure I'm going double over everybody else. 100% crit rate, 156 crit damage. Those are a luxury. You don't need them. And then as for resistance, we don't really care for it, but we have about 200 on the build. And then we do want accuracy, minimum 350. I know I only have 300 here, but it is what it is. I couldn't get any more in the build. Now, let's talk about booking situation. Do you want to book your Grush? Grush is not going to be one of those champions that you're going to use everywhere in the game. You will use him early on for faction wars. You will use him for clan boss when you get him. I don't suggest booking him, but if you have the books laying around, go for it. Cruelty is the blessing that we did take for him. Along with masteries wise, we did go down the offense and support. We did take War Master. We did go ahead and take Methodical. We did take Bring It Down along with Singled Out. As for the support tree, we did take Sniper. We did take Master Hexer along with Evil Eye. We did also take Lore of Steel. We did take Swarm Smiter. And then because we're not using him for Clan Boss, we can take Rapid Response. All right, Sepulchre Sentinel. She is an absolutely beast of a champion. Great for Clan Boss. You know, her block debuff is on a 4-turn cooldown, but if you build her properly with the right speed tune, she'll keep you, nice and healthy the whole time because she'll bring you the increased defense along with the block debuffs, and she's also going to bring you a decreased attack. Now, as for what we have her built with, we got her built with a bolster and speed set. It's not really going to matter, right? We have the luxury on the account to do it, but you don't need to. Let's talk about stats. We have her built at 54k HP, 3.3k defense, 255 speed. We don't care about crit rate or crit damage. The only other thing we care about is the accuracy, and so we have it at 370. As for the booking situation, we do have it fully booked. Do you need it fully booked? Honestly, if you could just literally book the A2, you're fine. Her her passive basically just helps you kind of, ignore the damage that somebody's going to get. So it's really up to you if you want to book it. I didn't really think it was necessary. Again, if you do book it, it does work out well for you. Again, I have mine booked because I have CVC. I know that's my answer to everything, right? As for the masteries, what did we do? We did build her with War Master. We did put in Methodical along with Bring It Down and Wrath of the Slaying. On the support tree, we did take Master Hexer. We did take Sniper along with Lore of Steel and Swarm Smiter. All right, guys, there you have it. A pretty budget free-to-play team, champions that you could invest from the early game into the late game. With the exception of Grush, early game, he's definitely going to help out with some stuff, faction wars. I wouldn't really worry too much about putting so many resources in them. Will these champions need masteries? I think the only ones you can get away with without masteries are going to be Grush and Sepulchre. The other ones, the masteries are definitely going to benefit them. So hopefully this video helped. If it did, give me a thumbs up. And as always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys on the next one.